It's 8 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the November board meeting of the Burleigh County Water Resource District to order. Wendy, take roll call, please.
Manager Mitchell.
Here.
Manager Reed.
Here.
Manager Jones.
Here.
Manager Smith.
I'm here.
Chairman Landenberger.
Here, we have a quorum. We will continue. Moving on to item 2 this morning, approval of last month's meeting minutes. Any changes or additions?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by Manager Jones and a second by Manager Reeve to approve the minutes from last month's meeting as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Minutes are approved. Moving on to item 3 this morning. Any changes to the agenda? Any additions?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
okay. Got a motion by Manager Reap and a second by Manager Jones to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda is approved. Comments from members of the public, not associated with the item on the agenda, but still under business of the Burleigh County Water Resource District. Not seeing any this morning. We can move on to item 5, McDowell Dam. First item up there, the supplemental water supply. So at this point, we are still continuing to work with one particular landowner, the last landowner that we have remaining as far as an easement goes. We did meet with him individually at Houston's office about a month ago. Walked through some items that he had some concerns with in some of the easement language and kind of some of the easement exhibits. So we're kind of working through that right now. At this point, I believe we're in the process, I don't know, Travis, of providing that information to Mr. Anderson, but I believe he's out of the state.
Yes, I contacted him and got a hold of him to discuss delivery of those materials, and he indicated that he was out of town until the end of the month, and so I was going to defer to what your decision is, whether we attempt to send those to him where he is now or wait for him to return.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, Dave, you got any thoughts on that? I mean, have we done that before where we'll send it to where they're non-residents? I don't know if that's it.
Yeah, wherever the address is. If he, Travis, did he give you an address?
No, he didn't. I was going to have that as the next step, that I call him and try to find out what his current address is down there, or also find out whether his mail is being forwarded to that address since he's out of town for an extended period.
But I'm curious, Travis, if he'd be interested in maybe at least reviewing it electronically. So if that's something we could email him and at least the PDFs of the documents and just see if he has any interest in that way, we could know, where he sits with the documents themselves.
Yeah, I can reach out to him and see if he'd be interested, and I do have his email address. I can check to see whether it appears to be more of a work address for him, so I don't know if he is checking that where he is now. I can see if he would be able to access that, or if he'd be interested in take a look at those documents.
Okay. Yeah, I would think if he got to the point where he could review those electronically and was comfortable with the documents, then maybe we could visit with him about if he'd be open to us sending them to where he's currently located. I'd hate to lose another month, but
Related question is, when is the Outdoor Heritage Fund decision and presentation? I guess that's probably part of the critical path here, right?
I don't know that there's a set date for that. Usually they take a few weeks to review everything, but I would think that they would probably start calling for interviews sometime in early December based on previous cases.
when you visited with Mr. Anderson on the phone, did you actually talk to him?
Yes, I did.
Did he make comment, something about the effect that he wanted to wait until he got back, or was he willing to continue the discussion even though he's...
I guess he didn't say that specifically, but he, I guess, didn't seem too excited to look at things, and kind of, I guess his general tone was that he didn't really want to be bothered, but I think we may have to at least make that attempt.
Okay. All right. Okay, thanks, Travis. Any other thoughts, or? Okay. Yeah, to Dennis's point, on page 7 of your packet there, we did submit the grant application to the Outdoor Heritage Fund, but believed it was due by, was it November 1st, Travis?
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
it was due November 1st. We got it in just a couple of days ahead of that.
So we'll see what transpires after that. If they have us, invited us to a meeting for them to do a presentation, we can do that here maybe in late November, early December. EAP exercise, so that was completed. I'm not sure if there's a date on that in your packet.
October 28th or something,
October 28th?
something like that.
Yeah, so Mary Sanger, emergency manager, she called around, I think on the information that she had, I think Kathleen Jones was listed as the primary contact and Chuck as the backup. She did contact you correctly?
did.
Okay. There's a few items, I think, in there, Travis, that maybe need some updating. I think you're gonna maybe work with Mary to kind of get those items updated.
Yeah, I've gone through and I've updated the references for the County Water Resource District members who are listed in there as contacts, and there's a couple others in there that I just want to call out and see if the person indicated in there is still the person in that position. For some of those local emergency contacts, like for county and DOT and railroad representatives and such, who are, in case of anything catastrophic out there, but I just like to follow up on a couple of those contacts, but I've done the updates for the Water Resource District references in there, and I just want to do one more careful proofread through everything just to make sure all of the references are still current on all of those pieces of contact information. And then there's also a resources list in there that lists contractors who are available to do certain types of work, whether it be dirt work or concrete work, construction, et cetera. I could also, if you guys wanted, I could reach out to them to see if they would still be interested in doing work if called to do so, to respond to any kind of emergency situation out there, and if they are still the valid contact personnel and numbers for those particular contractors.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman. So the NRCS contact has changed. I do know that, so you'll have to get that name changed, and I don't know who the name is, but the other, our lessons learned out of this is, I was contacted as well, and answered the questions the best I could. If, I know, there's maybe some restrictions on who gets the emergency action plan, who has them, because they're, somewhat confidential in nature in certain aspects, from a dam safety and overall safety perspective. But bottom line is, if those responsible had access to that, ready access to it, that we probably would have done better on that exercise, right? So I don't know if there's any action out of that is doable or necessary, but just maybe a discussion point.
Yeah, good points, Dennis. And certainly, there was some good things that came out of this, just so we can, kind of clean up some of these contact information things. And is there an electronic version of that emergency action plan?
I believe so, as a PDF. I actually happen to have, the EAP is a PDF. I'm sorry, this is what I pulled out, is just the report of the exercise. I brought a copy of that with, but yeah, the EAP, we've got that all as a PDF, and then there are physical books that have been created for keeping on the shelf in key locations and in certain offices. But yeah, we do have that in electronic format, and I can make sure that all those updates get applied and then PDF'd, and that can be provided to the managers for their use. And the big thing that came out of this exercise is just simply reviewing that EPA, becoming familiar with it, with the various hazard classifications, and then the response actions necessary for each of those respective classes. And so I think it's good to just make sure that Chuck and Kathleen have a copy of that plan, and then do a read through it and just kind of practice or mentally go through it and understand what is needed for that in the event that there's anything happen. So that's the big thing, is they're looking just to make sure that people who are on there are familiar with what needs to be done if they get called to do so. So that way you can respond a little bit more quickly if needed, without having to, pour over the book so much. But just be familiar with the contents of that plan.
Okay. Yeah, I think honestly, probably all board members, I think it'd be good if we all had copies of that, because I think she did make her way, through almost the entire
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
talk
it's significant. I think the whole EAP is something like 37, 38 pages,
Yeah.
but in all reality, it's not that daunting. Once you start looking at it and understanding what's in it, there's only 2 or 3 pages in there that basically give you all of the key information that you need to get familiar with to know what to do on some of those response activities. So you just know which page to flip to, and then you just respond accordingly. So it's really not that difficult. Like I said, I'm somewhat familiar with it, and I've been working on updates to this EAP for several years now, and so it's actually pretty straightforward.
Okay, thanks, Travis. Dave, did you guys, were you contacted at all in this exercise? Okay, is that something you think, I mean, I don't know, seems like, that's kind of what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. So I think maybe we'll talk to Mary and see if we can get that, Travis. And then, do you guys have a copy of that? Okay, we'll make sure you get a copy as well. I think that'd be good. Okay.
Yeah, there's a contact list in there, or there's I should say, a distribution list on there of, key personnel who should have a copy of this EAP, so I'll make sure that
Yeah, I think
they're
it'd be
on,
good
that
to
the Park
have.
District, especially Dave Robinson, is on that list in the event that there's anything that occurs out there, so that way they're in the loop and they have that handy.
Yep, let's do that, make sure that gets added. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, that's why you do the exercises, right? Kind of work through this, good. All right, next item, our land lease renewals. I don't know, Chuck or Dave, if you got some updates this morning? Anybody?
Oh,
Yeah,
we got the previous lease documents from Wendy. She was nice enough to send those to both David and I, and from there we tried contacting Zach, I believe, for the Aero Club.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe Dave tried contacting Alvin, the gentleman that is haying the land and stuff like that. So we are just in that process right now.
Getting
We're
those renewed.
discussing that with them and trying to make contact with them, and told them that anything that they need, questions answered, or anything, that either of us are available for that.
Okay. Anything else? Tom?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Chuck and I are working together on this, and since I'm familiar with those, I've been making the initial contacts, emails and letters saying Manager Mitchell is taking over the portfolio. He'll be contacting you, contact me, so we should have all 3 of these issues ready for the board next month.
Next month, okay. Are we looking at any increases or anything on the lease rates? Or-
That's a good question. I suspect so.
Okay.
Waiting to hear from the lessee.
Okay,
Once we get him on board to see whether he wants to continue or what, then we can negotiate those dollars.
okay,
And we do it by the same procedure. We know that there are county rents that are established by NDSU statistics. That's something the board can use to renegotiate that.
okay. Or what that, kind of that price per acre that we can.
Yep.
And then I was just gonna ask maybe Dave and Dave too regarding kind of that aero mod. I know we're doing some maintenance things out there for them, right? Continued mowing, things of that nature. And that everything seems to be going pretty well with them? Okay, good. Okay. All right, we'll get some updates next month then.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Dave, did the Civil Air Patrol do any drone exercises out there? Okay.
Not that you're aware of anyway? Okay. I know they reached out to us a couple years ago asking if that was a possibility, and we said basically as long as they're kind of letting you guys know and, yeah, not getting in your way and disrupting the,
And we built that into the Aero Club lease
Yep.
as to sharing and timelines and so forth. So Chuck knows that, and Chuck's going to be following up with those guys as well. See
Okay.
where we go. Mr. Chairman, if I could, just return to the easement issues.
yes,
The board may want to put on the calendar executive session for next month.
okay.
These, repeated delays in delivery, just pushing things back, and I think the board needs to make a decision as to how it wants to proceed.
Okay. All right. Wendy, let's make sure we get that on there next month. Thank you. Good idea, dear. Thank you. Okay. Anything else on McDowell Dan this morning? Not hearing any. We can move on to item 6 this morning, financial reports. Manager Reap.
Mr. Chairman, board members, page 49 is balance sheet. I'll go through some of the details of the activity in the month. We started the month with a balance of $1,879,754.03 in our checking and savings account. We paid bills in the amount of $159,196.25. We had income in the amount of $8,848.94, which included real estate tax and state aid as the primary sources of that. Ending balance of $1,729,737.08. Bravera Wealth, we have currently have $2,467,210.79, which includes about $8,000 in interest over the past month, after minus the administration fees. You'll notice a new line item, taxes receivable is listed on there. That's one of the adjustments we made as part of the audit to report that. So that shows up on our balance sheet. So with that, we have total current assets of $4,910,269.05. I would move for approval
Second.
as presented.
Okay, got a motion by Manager Reap and a second by Manager Jones to approve this month's balance sheet. Wendy, take roll call vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Manager Reed,
Yes.
Manager Jones.
Yes.
Manager Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Landenberger.
Yes, motion passes.
One auxiliary item associated with that agenda item is the interest rates at Bravera Wealth. They have dropped slightly. As of November 1, they're 4.07%, minus a 0.25% management fee, so effective 3.82. That's about 0.25 off the peak when we first started this in the middle of the summer. Correspondingly, CD rates have also gone down, and so I don't think there's any advantage to pursue CDs separate of this account as we have it now. So I don't know if there's any discussion on that.
Any thoughts on that? If not, concurrence? Continue with that? Okay.
Okay, moving on, Mr. Chairman, item B there, profit and loss statement is on pages 52, 53 of the agenda book. I went through those. I'd move for approval as presented.
Okay.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion by Manager Reap and a second by Manager Jones to approve this month's profit and loss statement. Wendy, take roll call vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Manager Reed,
Yes.
Manager Jones.
Yes.
Manager Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Landenberger.
Yes, motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, item C is in your packet, page 54 and 55, from Bavaro Wealth. They are looking for a release of securities, and so I guess I would move to approve the signature on that document to
Okay.
release those securities.
Second.
All right, got a motion by Manager Reap and a second by Manager Jones to release, or the signatures for the release of the pledged securities. Wendy, take roll call vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Manager Reed,
Yes.
Manager Jones,
Yes.
Manager Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Landenberger.
Yes, motion passes.
And then, Mr. Chairman, board members, the last item is the audit. We, as you know, we were part of the overall Burleigh County's audit, and so there were, I think, two main findings associated with the Water Resource District. One is a repeat, basically due to our limitations in number of staff. There may be a workaround to do that, but I think Wendy's got to check for some software options to do that, and basically they're looking for a separate check of journal entries into the accounting process. We'll work through that. The audit was responded to in the middle of October by us, by the way. So, and the other one, I think, has already been implemented. There was just a reporting, and that's probably evidence that we saw on our balance sheet this month. Is that right, Wendy?
Yes, that's correct.
There's no action meeting to take with that or anything?
No,
Okay, I mean, as far as the board is approving the audit, or, just that we reviewed it and we're,
just if anybody had anything we needed to get back to,
Yeah.
and hoping to finalize it today.
okay. Good. All right, thanks, Dennis. Any questions for Dennis? Not? Thank you. Moving on to item 7 this morning, drainage permits and complaints. I assume Casey, no update on the River Road culvert, or maybe there is this morning. Good morning.
Morning. So in theory, we start tomorrow on
okay.
it, barring any interesting phone calls we get today. So the plan's tomorrow. It'll probably take a few days, probably finish up next week, try to get everything cleaned out. And get everything seeded, erosion control in, and hopefully it's done and ready for winter.
Okay, so at this point, there's no structural, it's just basically clean out at this point? Right?
Yeah, it's just the sediment downstream,
Yeah.
because that's what backs everything up, then ices everything in, so the culvert itself is fine. It's
Yeah, okay,
just sediment over time.
good, okay, thank
Yep,
you.
thanks.
I don't think, Travis, any updates on Keelboat Park?
No, I haven't heard anything new since the last meeting.
Okay, how about the Hawk Tree HOA? I don't know, Chuck, you were maybe kind of keeping tabs as well with some of those folks?
I did talk to Michael about it, last week, to some extent, and they are, pretty much in the phase of, the homeowner association, and I believe the builder or whoever was owning the land are gonna be the final say in all of this, and everything else had panned out, checked out, so.
Okay. So Casey's got something to add too, sorry.
Man, that is gonna take my finger off someday. Sorry. We were contacted by one of the homeowners association's engineers, and they're getting some additional background information. Sounds like they're getting together a stormwater management plan amendment to be able to go forward to get everything final.
Oh, okay.
So they're looking at trying to get all the paperwork done over the winter, so they're ready to go in the spring to get everything installed.
Good. All right, sounds like we got to a good resolution then.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everything goes smooth.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, Mike Cook, I don't think at this point, I think Michael was still looking into some things on that one as well, so he will have an update next month. And then the Grenz complaint, I don't know if there's a resolution from Burleigh County Highway Department on that one too, but I'm not sure where exactly that one sits, but, sorry. Getting his steps in this morning.
Don't touch the microphone this time, that's for sure. On Cook's, there's just a lot of history behind that. I think as a highway department, we're stuck to the right-of-way going into private property. We can't do that obviously without easement permission on there. And I think Mr. Cook has been very open to working with us on that. Unfortunately, as a highway department, we just don't have the money to be able to do what we could have done those years ago. So now it's just trying to go through the process, and hopefully we can get that resolved.
Okay. On the Grenz one though, any updates on the?
Oh yeah, Grenz. So we went up there and we shoveled out part of the ditch. I don't think it was as much as the landowners had wished, but we tried to start small instead of just rip everything apart, tear the whole thing apart. And so we shoveled it out, put a little bit of a V ditch through the area of sediment, and then hopefully it flows and goes through. If it doesn't, we'll go back up. We'll just keep monitoring it, and if we got to make it a little bit more, we will.
Okay, they seem pretty content with, see where it goes.
I don't know about content. I think they wanted us to basically start over and rip the whole thing out, and it was, that's more the final part. Let's start in small increments instead of completely tearing everything about.
She did call you?
She called me,
Yeah.
and she was not pleased with the depth of it, and I explained to her that we've got to start somewhere and see what happens. If we need, we can go back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Larger.
And the landowner that's where the area was at wasn't real excited about it either. We're just, we're trying to do it in small parts and not just completely tear everything apart.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, thanks, Casey.
Yep.
So we have a recommendation here on our packet to dismiss. Is that what we want to do this morning?
I don't believe so. I
Wanna
think
just
we would hang on to it
keep it
through
open,
the spring.
keep it
and
open
put
for now?
back
and-
on Maybe in April and see how things are going. I'm sure I'll hear from them at the first thaw.
The only thing I'd say to that is there's a statutory timeline to
That's right.
respond to it.
That's right.
So
I'm sorry, I forgot that.
I forget what that is, 120 days?
I-
I think it's 120 days,
Oh, well.
so 3 months, 4
Let
months.
her call and we'll start over again.
Since it's in the public right of way, we'll be dealing with it anyways.
Okay,
That's
basically-
Yeah.
part of just what we do every day.
So it's a non-jurisdictional item
Yeah.
for us,
Nope.
Okay.
so.
No, because it's dedicated right away to Burleigh County, so
Okay.
it's in our area that we can deal
So we
with.
can dismiss it.
We can dismiss it
We'll
then.
dismiss it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, is that a motion, Kathleen?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, got a motion by Manager Jones, second by Manager Reap, to dismiss the Gren's complaint on grounds of jurisdiction following to Burleigh County Highway Department.
Correct.
Okay, Wendy, take roll call vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Manager Reed,
Yes.
Manager Jones,
Yes.
Manager Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Landenberger.
Yes, motion passes. Okay. Dismissed. Any other items under that? Number 7, anybody wants to visit today about? If not, we can move on to item 8, which is essentially just in your packet is the final tile permit application for the DeWitt's property. So we basically went through the process and verified the ownership, and in the process too, Travis, there were a few things, we were calling them again, but it basically was some additions to the permit application that we wanted to make sure that they were aware of and took care of, right?
Yeah, I mean, literally just a couple of extra boxes to check is
Yep.
all, really, but, I think we got those taken care of, so we're, should be clear.
Okay, so that should be approved and closed at this point. Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, we can move on to item 9 then. This morning projects, first one up, Hogue Island. I don't think there's any updates this morning. Michael's out, but I think they're continuing to kind of look at the Chider property as well. And hopefully maybe next month Mike will be back and give us an update, unless you, Travis, you got any updates this morning on that one.
For Dave Scheider, it sounds like the settlement is continuing to progress a little bit on that, and they've been keeping an eye on that. Dave has not heard anything back from either the Corps or the state on that. I actually took the initiative, reached out to Amy at the state regarding that for as far as the sovereign lands stuff is concerned. And, she was kind of waiting on some stuff too, so I suggested her maybe get in touch with Dave Scheider and just let him know where the state sits on that, and, if they're waiting on something, maybe give him a nudge to let him know what they're waiting on, so that he can get that to them and help try to facilitate some of those communications to keep the process moving forward. So that way everyone isn't just sitting around waiting for somebody else to do something, and trying to be a little bit more proactive on these things. And so she took that, and she was going to reach out to Dave and try to help coach this along so that we can get something moving on that particular item.
Okay. Thank you, Travis. Okay, we can move on to Project B there, the Apple Creek You Mary slide. I don't know, Roger, any updates more on that one? You've been talking with Michael at all?
I have not talked to Michael, so I do not have any updates.
Okay. In your packet on page 74 through 80 is just the quarterly report that was submitted. And I believe that we've been also working with them as far as some payments.
There's a,
Cost share,
yeah, I think that was submitted,
last one.
yeah.
Okay.
I think when you submit the quarterly report, it's a convenient time to submit the reimbursement request as well, right? And so we should be getting some money through the DES,
Yeah.
I would say, here shortly.
Okay. And I think there were also some bills at the end of this month for
There's
Brown.
one bill
For,
in there.
for Brown, yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that? If not, we can move on to item 10 this morning under old business. We do have the CRS in here. Mitch, I don't know if you've got any updates this morning for us or not, certainly. I know last month we talked about this and kind of the ETA. Maybe even have an update for us on the ETA this morning.
Not to speak of. It's going to be brought to the meeting on Thursday at the Planning Commission,
Okay.
Bismarck Planning Commission, which I think they're going to finalize their agreement, which will go back to the County Commission.
Okay. That's kind of the process then, is
Yeah.
they'll approve by
Yeah.
the city and then
Yeah,
and look to get the county approval.
County.
yeah, they're looking at March 1st as the the date to
Okay.
effective date.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point then, where does that put us with the CRS? Are we still kind of waiting to see after these approvals, and then if everything gets approved as is, then,
Yeah, I haven't heard from FEMA yet.
okay.
There is a concern about the area in the ETA underneath in the floodplains area, because the city does not enforce the 500 or the X zone, shaded X. You can do what you want there. You have to elevate in the AE zones, but we enforce that to be a 2-foot freeboard in those. So now everybody in the ETA is going to have to raise their buildings in the AE zone or the X zones. So consideration is whether we continue that our ordinance as is, or change that, keep that area where the city had it at no elevation required.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, Mitch, just the people that were in the ETA zone that would not be under the new map, that's the ones that would affect. Is that correct? Did I
Right.
understand? Do I
The
understand?
ones, the ones that are being transferred to our jurisdiction.
Yeah, outside the ETA, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mitch, what have has this ever occurred before, and what have we done?
Transfer of the ETA areas.
Yes,
We did the Summit Point.
that's right.
That was in 2024, 23,
Yep,
and that's the only one that I'm aware of.
and that went smoothly, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it was, the jurisdiction would have been, the subdivision would have been split in half.
Yeah.
And so they decided, they removed their ETA in that subdivision, so.
But this
Thank
is
you.
considerably more area that
Yeah.
we're dealing with this go around.
Yeah, 95% of the people
Yeah.
that live in the ETA.
Mr. Chairman, Mitch, do you think the FEMA would wait until the effective date of a new ETA map before they start the process on this, reinitiate the CRS process?
Yeah,
They will wait until after March?
Yeah, Commissioner Landenberg, Commissioner Reed, the cab visit did not involve any of the ETA area when they were here in August. So what we submitted was only properties that were in Burleigh County. So now we're in 1,500 additional parcels that are in the flood zones. So yeah, I believe we'll have to start over.
So along with that, we had contributed towards that, and emergency management had, I expect that you're not going to do it gratis.
Well, I just do my job. I'm not sure where the money comes from, but it's, I'm fairly certain that they would want to start over.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Certainly makes sense, yep. So there might be another,
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Visit
Budget,
kind
yeah.
of see where the budget's at and see what was spent and.
Yeah, we will be doubling our responsibilities in the floodplain,
Mm-hmm.
floodplain management, easily.
What does that mean for your department?
Well, additional work.
So additional people?
Well, yeah, and we plan on hiring possibly 2 people.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Yep.
More to come. Okay. All right, we can move on to new business this morning. First item up there is, I think there's been discussion and at the Burleigh County Commission level regarding the Garrison Conservancy District. I don't know, Jerry, if you want to update the board, kind of what transpired here recently and.
Thank you. It was on the agenda for last meeting a week ago, Monday, and we decided to postpone it, waiting for more input. That's one of the things I mentioned during that discussion was we need more input from the Water Resource District and any other people that are involved. I have a question on that. Is McDowell Dam receiving any money for the water project?
I mean, not currently, but we have.
Well, in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
No, we have not received any money in the last 2-3 weeks. No.
Well, Monday night, it's on the agenda for this board to present reasons why we should not. Maybe we do. I think we've decided we want to stay with it, right? Or we can opt to go out or to quit. That's on the agenda for Monday night. So I don't know where anybody stands as far as keeping it going the way it's going, or.
Commissioner, I get Woodcox, are you asking the Burleigh County Water Resource District Board to come to the Burleigh County Commission meeting next week, you said?
I think it's a very good idea. If you don't show up, they're not going to
Okay.
listen to what you want to hear. Somebody should be there.
Okay, so I guess in your discussions, they feel there's a direct tie between Garrison Conservancy District and this board? I guess I'm not understanding. I mean, I see us as separate entities that receive funding equally from the Burleigh County Commission. So I'm not quite sure I'm following. Obviously, we know what Garrison Diversion does for the state, and we know what it probably does as far as impact to Burleigh County. We have received funds. I know there's different, water resource, or like South Central Regional Water has received funding in the past in Burleigh County, but so I guess, yeah, we can certainly show up to the meeting next week and provide some input, but yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, the Hogue Island one is completely done, am I correct? Is that project done?
Yeah,
Okay,
yep,
okay.
yep.
I have nothing, really. Budget went through fine, and no troubles there, so
Okay.
we're doing okay.
Casey?
I think some of the Garrison diversion discussion is if the Water Resource District Board would want the county to stay in it, or if they're okay with the county saying we want out of it. The current that was tabled was to ask to be removed from the Garrison diversion, and that we would as a county, no longer contribute a mill towards it. And
Yeah.
that's whatever the board wants to do. That's fine. It doesn't affect the highway department.
Right.
It's just if I think it was. Did you guys want to say anything or not? It's your call.
Okay.
Well, my big question is, why would we want out of it? We receive a great deal of benefits from the diversion.
So what was part of what was presented, and I haven't looked at the numbers, I just was at the
Okay.
meeting when they were listening, is that in the since I think it was sometime before the 90s, Burleigh County, by the mill, they've contributed somewhere around $9 million. And the next 10 years, we look at contributing another $9 million, and what we've received in grants and everything's, I think, was less than $1 million. So they felt that we are not getting the investment back that we have put into it. And they were recommending the request to be taken out of the Garrison diversion. Now, we all know that the Garrison diversion can say, no, we're not going to let you out. Then it basically goes to a lawsuit to be removed at that point. But that's way beyond
Well,
everything.
They've already been there.
Who?
In a lawsuit. The
Barnes County
diversion
was, yeah.
company, and they lost. Or
Yeah.
They won, excuse me, they won. And I guess I don't see why all of a sudden this is an issue. We have been doing this since the mid-sixties. We have been
Yep.
subsidizing, and considering it costs about $3 billion, a little over $3 billion annually to operate it, I guess I have a real problem with it, because the federal government, so far, as of Friday, has not cut funding to the dam.
Yeah, I don't know so much about the dam. Just from what was discussed at the table, and this is just what I remember off the top of my head, is the diversion was supposed to help with the irrigation. And there are some Burleigh County residents that have benefited from it. They just think for the amount of dollars invested and any grants that have been for, like Garrison Diversion gets into trails, different stuff. They feel some of those grants have gone off their original purpose into something else. It sounded like some commissioners felt they were trying to rewrite their rules to make them still valid. And I'm a highway department, so I'm not involved either way.
Wow.
It's just trying to communicate it. And they just felt with the current budget, it's so hard for them to try and meet everything every year that 1 mil going to something they feel Burleigh County residents aren't really benefiting from. They felt there was they just didn't want to continue that anymore. And they were, well, if we're only, out of the last 40 years, if we've only gotten $1 million worth out of 9 million, we're going to contribute 9 million in the next 10 years. And do we think we're even going to get $1 million in the next 10? So that was their concern, but they wanted to make sure people had a chance to discuss it, and that's why it was tabled last week to come up this next Monday. And if people want to speak for it or against it, I'm sure the county commission will hear it and make their decision and go from there.
Well, 2 comments. Number 1, it should be tabled even by this board. Number 2, we need to do a better job at informing the county commission as to the benefits we do receive. Granted, we're Burleigh County, but it's not just Burleigh County that's involved. There's about 5 states that are using Missouri River water, and the total benefit, and considering what we give them, I don't get it.
Yeah, and if you as a board want to present that on Monday, I'm sure they'll listen to it.
I think we should.
Other thoughts? Oh, Dave, any thoughts from your end? I mean, as far as legal-wise, or kind of where we're at in this process? I know there's multiple steps here where we're at with this at this point. I think there's a resolution that's been tabled. I don't know, Dave, you got any thoughts on?
Yeah, and Commissioner, was the resolution tabled, did you say, or,
Yes.
so?
It was tabled, but it's on the agenda to come back on this coming Monday.
I see. Well, it seems to me, Mr. Chairman, as I understand the process, first there needs to be a resolution by statute, which the county has done, maybe has withdrawn for a while. But it sounds like the meat of it is the petition, which has to be created by the commission and then presented, I'm assuming, to the Conservancy District. It seems to me that until this board receives that petition, the actual complaint, if you will, it's kind of hard for the board to respond in terms of knowing what the commission is actually asking the Conservancy District to do. We know that it's for exemption, but how that's designed and how it's constructed, it's kind of hard for me to advise at all what the board should do until we actually see that petition.
Okay.
In the agenda packet that comes out today, I think they'll include the resolution in the agenda packet if you want to see it, because they didn't have it in the previous agenda packet. That's the main reason why they tabled it, to extend that so people had time to read it more and be able to respond. So
Commissioner Woodcox gave it to the board, and I think it's in the agenda, so the board has seen that resolution.
Yeah.
My point is that there's not a petition. The petition is really the guts of it that runs it, so that would be my comment.
Thanks, Dave.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Woodcox, the Garrison diversion was presented at a meeting about almost a year ago, probably.
That,
Have they been asked back to present again?
You're asking me, have they been?
Yeah, or have they been back?
Well, I think the 700,000 that Commissioner Jones was concerned about how that came about, but was put in way back when as 1 mil, and that mill is over 700,000. But then the county commission is looking to save money in that 700 grand a year, and they're concerned that they're not getting any bang for our $700,000. So I think on Monday night, be ready to explain what we have done. And I know one thing that's not on this letter of the withdrawal. There's nothing about Burleigh Water's creation of Burleigh County Water District, because they put a ton in at that time. It was in the millions, I think, but that's beyond. They only list in the packet. They only list the last 3 or 4 years, and that's not enough. Really.
I'm not tracking. You said Garrison Diversion put a ton of money into what?
Burleigh County Water Resources, Burleigh County Water Plant.
Oh, the
Up on
South Central.
Central.
Okay.
South Central.
Used to be Burleigh County water user.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
they're looking for I'm looking too for everything that could contribute to what we get out of that 700,000.
I mean, well, go ahead.
Well, I asked Mr. Bachmeyer here, because he's been involved with this for many, many years, to speak to the benefits that we all receive. Not just Burleigh County, but several counties. I forget how many that are involved in this. So perhaps we should give him the opportunity of giving us some education.
I don't remember, I don't think the county made a formal request to Garrison Diversion in the last year to present that I remember, but I'm sure that they're very good at listening if people want to present on it.
And I know Mr. Cashin, I believe, is still the Garrison's, you know, the Burleigh
Yes.
County Garrison, you know, what do you call that, the
Director.
director.
For
You know,
Burleigh
I don't know
County.
if he's came to a Burleigh County Commission meeting recently. I would think, you know, Larry would certainly have some input as far as what is, you know,
They
from a
will.
benefit standpoint.
There should be a lot of discussion on a Monday night, because
Has-
I
is
don't
he
know
also
where
being
everybody
invited?
sits. I'm surprised. I don't know
can't find
where
him.
everybody is. I know
He's
what
on
I'm
the
going to do,
schedule.
but I don't know anybody else. And it's kind of a mystery sometimes as to where they're coming from, so.
Okay.
But this resource district has got to get up there on Monday night and speak your speech about what we have received for that 700,000.
Well, you know, so from the Burleigh County Water Board perspective, I mean, we have not directly received a lot of money, or I don't know if any money, from the Garrison Diversion. But, you know, we're not necessarily in that field. I mean, you can look at the ledger of 900,000 we've gotten over the life of our membership there as Burleigh County versus the amount we've contributed, but it's more than a ledger. I mean, there's a lot of indirect benefits that are probably not quantifiable on an accounting book. But, you know, as far as the water board, you know, I guess on face value, yeah, it's great that we're a member of Garrison Diversion. You know, can we get up there and absolutely justify it from an accounting perspective? I don't know that we can, because I don't know that we have the data. I think the Garrison Diversion has the data. If they would be the one that has all the evidence to justify that.
And
I don't
they
think
were
we are.
invited for Monday night. I don't know whether they'll show up or not, but they were invited.
But I think they should be requested to be there to provide input. We as a board, or individual citizens that are on the board can get up there and speak a piece, but I don't know that it's the right avenue. I don't necessarily believe so.
I don't think so either.
That's Commissioner Woodcox, that's kind of where I come, you know, we're a separate entity, you know. We receive funds from Burleigh County Commission just like Garrison Diversion does. And so for us to stand up there and say whether or not we feel the Burleigh County Commission should continue to, you know, fund the Garrison Conservancy District and become or maintain their membership, I'm not sure that's our call. You know, we certainly see benefit, you know, there's value there. To Dennis's point, I don't know if you can see a direct dollar for dollar return, but when you think about all the contractors, engineers, suppliers, you know, vendors that are located in Burleigh County and reside in Burleigh County, pay taxes in Burleigh County, that are working on Garrison Diversion projects, that's the data I think that Dennis is getting to, that we have, Burleigh County Water Resource District doesn't have access to that information and data, and certainly not by Monday. I mean, if you were to ask us if we think Burleigh County should stay in, I think we see the value there.
we
But at
do.
the end of the day, it's a Burleigh County Commission decision, it's a fiscal decision, and we can certainly show up at the meeting on Monday and provide, you know, if you guys ask us, I don't think we'll be prepared to say how much money exactly we've received. We have received, I do know we did receive some grants for McDowell Dam. directly from Garrison Diversion years ago for some
That's a
playground
point,
equipment.
and that's not on there, the complaint. In fact, I got several of these resolutions. If anybody wants them, I printed out 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's fairly straightforward as far as that. They're following the law. They have to vote again. They have to vote on a Monday night. That it goes to the board of directors of Garrison Diversion, and they get to say whether they let us out or not. And so that's another place we should be represented.
Yeah.
I think this group should make it. It doesn't cost anything. Make a resolution that we support Burleigh County. It doesn't have to be Burleigh County.
No.
I don't think it'd be hard to do, but I think it'd be, they might ignore it, but I think I'll try and make a point as to discussing it, so.
I just make sure I heard the question right. You're asking, you're suggesting the water board make a motion to.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't
hurt anything, that's for sure. And even unanimous may be even better, so, but I don't know where you sit.
What wishes of the board? Any thoughts on that?
I would be opposed
To
to making a resolution.
Commissioner Woodcox, do you think it would make any difference at the county commission level?
I can't really predict what they're going to be doing, but I think this board should make a resolution that they favored Garrison Diversion. Even maybe you don't want to go on record, that's your choice, but at least somebody's going to say, well, what about the Water Resource District? Where do they stand? And if nobody's there to answer that question, it's going to be kind of foolish. What are you scared of? A simple resolution has no downside, no penalties, no nothing. It's just a support of Garrison Diversion.
This is Roger. I could support a resolution like that. I think that if, like Dennis said, there's a lot of those benefits are more statewide. Burleigh County being one of the larger, more influential counties, particularly the largest in this part of the state. And, we also have some responsibility. There's other counties that are contributing that would probably not get benefits anyway, or the similar analysis would show that their benefits, and it might create a little bit of a cascade of rebellion, I guess, against Garrison Diversion. The Missouri River Joint Board received some grants for the EAE program. That would potentially be negatively impacted, or to maintain the same level of support, we would probably be asked to contribute more, so it would have an impact to us from that perspective. That's all I have.
okay, so Roger, were you making a motion with that, or just?
I didn't make the motion. I said I could support it, but I can make the motion. And I'll do that. So I move that we submit a resolution to the Burleigh County Commissioners stating our support for continued membership in Garrison Diversion.
I would support
the
that.
district. What's the right term?
Garrison Conservancy District?
I will
Yep.
second.
Okay. We have a motion by Manager Smith, and a second by Manager Jones to have a resolution for this board to support maintaining our membership with Garrison Conservancy District. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion on this, additional discussion? Commissioner Woodcock?
One thing that burr under their saddle is Morton County right across. They got the river all the way along, and they're not a member. So I don't know how that ever happened back when, but I don't think they've ever been a member. And I think it was by invitation. Burleigh County asked to be on the water district. They didn't come to Burleigh County. We went to them and said we want to be involved. And whether that involvement is enough to keep that bill alive, keep that membership alive, I can't predict.
Mr. Brownberg, shall we have Mr.,
Only if he wants to, yeah.
you want to speak?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Chairman Landenberger, members of the commission. My name is Wade Bachmeyer. I am the chair of the Missouri River Joint Water Board. The Missouri River Joint Water Board, of course, is made up of member county water resource districts that border the river from Montana state line all the way down to the South Dakota state line. The joint board was formed some 20 years ago, and Burleigh County Water Resource District was extremely instrumental in the formation of that board. In fact, our Roger mentioned EAE program, and that program is currently being administered by Ken Royce, who was a member of this board and was a chair of this board. So Burleigh County has always been a major supporter and a major influence on water development, especially in the central part of the state, if not statewide. Burleigh County Water Resource District has always been looked upon as a leader. So I would reiterate Manager Reap's comments about whether it's a dollar for dollar benefit, because I wouldn't know that either. There are a lot of benefits that Garrison Diversion Conservancy District creates statewide. How much of that actually gets to Burleigh County? I'm not sure of those numbers. So the main reason I was here today, or am here today, is to let the Burleigh County Water Resource District know that because of your past and continued involvement in the joint board, that the joint board is here to support whatever action or decision or position you take.
Good. Thank you. Any questions for Wade? Thank you, Wade. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay, any other discussion this morning? Chuck, anything? Nope. Okay, Dennis? Want to vote?
Yeah, just before we vote, I will vote for that. I just, just to reiterate, I don't know that we have the data nor the position to justify it in an accounting book. And it's just so everybody understands that. We see the value of it. There's lots of indirect benefits that aren't computed. But as a general sense, I'll support that motion.
Just an FYI, I have talked to the Water Commission, and they are putting a list of benefits together. Unfortunately, it couldn't be done as quickly as I would have liked. So I would support the motion, and perhaps the benefits will be ready for the next meeting, and we can discuss it at that point again.
Okay. Good. All right, we have a motion and a second for the resolution. When you take roll call vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Manager Reap,
Yes.
Manager Jones,
Yes.
Manager Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Landenberger.
Yes, the motion passes. We'll work on that language and get that over to you, Commissioner Woodcox, before Monday's meeting.
Yep, that'd be
Okay.
fine. Just turn it in to our auditor.
Okay.
Make sure they get it.
I guess, I almost, just to clarify, my vision was the motion was going to be the resolution essentially, right?
Yep.
It's going to be
Yes.
pretty straightforward, a
think so.
sentence.
Yep. A few sentences and, yeah.
If I may,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman. So when the Burleigh County Commission was talking about this, Ken Royce did put together a couple of letters. I believe they're in your packet, or I believe you've seen them. At this point, the joint board would respectfully request direction from the Burleigh County Water Resource District on whether you want us to go ahead and send those letters to the commissioners, or whether you want us to just hold them.
These letters are coming directly from the Missouri River Joint Board?
They could. Ken prepared the letters, but we've not yet approved it on a joint board level.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I don't know, what, have you talked to your board about?
Some members, but we have not, at this point, we've not made any decisions because we wanted to see what the Burleigh County Water Resource District decided to do in terms of a position. The joint board is here to support Burleigh County Water Resource District, but not to do anything that could potentially be contrary to the Burleigh County Water Resource District.
Thoughts?
Would you be calling a special meeting for the joint board to approve this?
We would need to, yes.
Wade, this is Roger. Point of clarification then. So you're just asking the Burleigh County Water Resource Board if the joint board should send those letters out, but we're not a signatory to those letters, right?
By we, do you mean the joint board, Roger?
No, by we mean Burleigh County Water Resource Board.
Correct, that's correct, yes, sir. If the joint board approves it, it would come from the joint board,
Yeah.
not from Burleigh County. But Burleigh County is a member of the joint board, so,
Yep. Rogers are, yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Designee, yep.
Mr. Chairman, I would have no problem in the joint board calling a special meeting and getting the letters out
Yeah, certainly, I don't
as quickly as possible.
Okay,
think you get any pushback from this board at all.
okay, very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Wade. Okay,
Logistics for Monday night.
Right.
yeah,
Question.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I assume that, Jerry, the meeting's here at 5 o'clock on Monday?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we can.
The agenda is out, comes out today at noon, so, but I have not gotten one yet, so. And where are you at on the agenda? But I keep iterating. The more people we got there saying, they might be saying the same thing, but you got to establish value, or if it'll go down, then they'll prove it.
And once again, I think the Dennis's earlier point, it's gonna be awfully difficult for us to have lots of numbers ready by Monday. I mean, we
Okay.
can maybe do some quick research to see. I do know we have received some funds directly from Garrison Diversion in the past, but you know, whether or not we'll have all that information ready by Monday, Jerry, might be, we'll see what we can do.
I know what, maybe probably a year ago, that some Garrison Diversion representative was there and gave a program on what they've done for Burleigh County and numbers along with it. I don't know whether we can find that meeting. Maybe the auditor probably can with his computer, but.
Yeah, I saw it. I think they did prepare a document, and it's probably where that 900,000 number came from that I've seen floating around. It's probably the same information, I'm guessing, but.
Yeah. But I have, Mr. Chairman, I have four resolution that copied it off. If anybody wants one, it's not that long, but they explain why they're doing this. So
Okay.
the more interest we have, the better off we are.
Okay. I guess from this board, who plans to maybe attend? You'll be there. I could probably be there. Dennis, if you've got. Roger, are you planning to? Are you gonna be back in?
Yeah, I will be back. I can be there, yes.
Okay. If we're gonna have more than 3 or more, we'll have to post.
It's a public meeting already.
Well,
It's already posted.
The commissioner, they automatically put it on the agenda. And
Okay.
I talked to our auditor yesterday, and he said they had already pulled it, because they tabled the motion 2 weeks ago. Now they're going back for the final, and that's when we got our chance. The auditor might be able to dig that up, what date that meeting was, and when the Garrison Diversion was here to make a presentation, because he had a lot of numbers on the benefits to Burleigh County. So I don't know how we can find that. Minutes of that meeting.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, make sure that you do post it as a meeting if more than 2 of you are going to be at the county commission meeting.
Yeah, so we don't get graced by just because county commission posts it, right?
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh.
So we gotta post our own notice.
Yeah, so we can do that. Okay. All righty. Anything else?
A question for Mr. Woodcock, Commissioner Woodcox. Is there any possibility that the county commission would postpone this subject matter until their next meeting?
And
Because
what,
you're asking for figures and that would give us time to put
okay,
something realistic
I'll try.
together.
I'll try. See if we can get it, see, get it tabled again and go from there.
But that won't happen until the meeting itself, right? And so we'll
Right.
still need to be there
Yeah,
and
we need to
ready,
be there
yep.
to back up.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll go to the auditor and say, hey, they got a lot of conflicts of Monday night thing, can we postpone another 2 weeks? And it's not critical timeline, there's no grants involved, that there's a dead day where you have to use it or lose it. So, the more the merrier on Monday night.
Okay. Thank you.
And be willing to stand up and make your position more accurate.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
So that'd be is that the 1st of December? Is that the next scheduled meeting?
No, it's,
The
the
17th.
next one is Monday,
No,
this
but-
coming Monday.
But the next one would be.
And the next one will be in December, first one in December.
December 1st? Would that date be the one?
I don't have a calendar in front of me, it's the first Monday in the month.
December 1st then, okay.
Is that the first?
Yep.
Okay.
I wouldn't be at that one.
Okay.
Chairman Landenberger, maybe the easiest thing to do is you decide who maybe ought to be there, and then if it's only two, you don't have to go through the process of, making it a formal meeting. So I'll just defer to you if you and who you think should be there.
Yeah, I think we all, if we can plan to be there, I think that would be good to show some support. And if there's questions that are asked, it's not that difficult to post a meeting. We just need to post it on our website.
Okay.
And- Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, thanks, Roger. Okay, anything else on that topic? All right, we can move on to item B there, the Water Users Convention coming up in December. I'm already signed up. I assume Dennis, you're probably there. Kathleen, you said you're there. I don't know, Roger, Chuck, if you're planning to.
Yep.
Okay. Roger, you planning to attend the
Yeah, I'll
Water Users?
go.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, and the Wednesday morning is the managers' training that they have. I believe it's from like 8 AM to 11 AM. So that's the required training they have to have once a year as water board members, so.
We are not required to post that, are we?
No, 'cause it's kind of I think,
Because
it's a
yeah.
conference,
Yeah.
there's.
That's
yeah,
what I was thinking, okay.
yep. As long as we're not discussing business. Yep. Yep. Okay,
Mr. Chairman?
yes.
Did you do a thing with the, whether we want to be there or not? It's hard to be explained, but I think you're going to be there. Somebody better be there.
Yeah, I think at this point, we
You got
might have
two of you
multiple
coming?
members of our board there.
If there's three, then you've got to call
Yep,
of course, it's a public meeting to begin with, so I don't know that.
yep,
And it's on the agenda.
okay.
Yep.
All right, item C, I'm not sure, there was a question on here about the North Dakota Water Magazine. Is everyone receiving a copy? I don't know.
I received a notice of who to contact if anybody wants a copy that
Okay.
isn't receiving one.
Okay,
So
I get
put it
one.
on there to make sure everybody was getting a copy.
Okay. I get a copy, I don't know if.
Just, didn't we,
Are you getting,
I used to.
do you
We-
want a copy?
Sure.
I'll get you on there.
I mean, we
That's
switched,
why it's on here.
we switched,
Roger, are you getting a copy?
I do get a copy.
Okay.
we switched over to electronic versions of that, yes?
Yep,
Yes.
there's both, yeah, I get both.
That's what you're referring to?
I don't know if it's electronic or not. It
Because,
just
I mean,
makes sure
part of the
it's-
purpose of going electronic is not to get paper ones.
Well, I got the paper
I get
one, but I've
both.
never gotten an electronic one.
And so, to save money, if you don't need a paper one,
Yeah.
we shouldn't get one. That's the whole purpose of going electronic, to save on printing
So is
costs.
that what they're asking too, is to see if you are getting paper, to say you no longer need the paper version, or? printed version?
What am I gonna read in that?
It is a digital copy. It says printed copies can be mailed for $25 a year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'll take a
Electronic.
digital.
Okay.
And even
So
at-
I'll add Kathleen and Chuck to the digital.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
And just so you know, even at that $25, I think we're still losing money on that. It's just so you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's expensive.
yeah.
Am I digital?
do a
I think
good
I
job.
put me on digital if I'm
Okay.
not.
Yeah. Dave's getting added too?
Yeah,
Okay, good. Okay,
I might just give them everybody's just to make
yeah,
sure.
well, yeah, I think that'd be good.
okay, we can move on to, unless there's any other new business anybody wants to bring up this morning, but if not, we can move on to item 12. In your packets, or and also by request from Wendy, you can get some additional information, any plats, stormwater management plans as listed there. There is the temporary water permit there on pages 87 and 88 in your packet. So desire to review that. No questions on those items. We can move on to item 13 this morning, approval of this month's bills.
Mr. Chairman, board members, I went through, everything adds up. The total amount is $136,226.71. And so,
Big one there is the Apple Creek, the Braun Intertech payment.
that's right. And then there's a Hogue Island bond payment that
Oh, sure.
actually I think has already been processed as ACH, but
Okay.
it shows up on this month's ledger, so. So with that, I'd move for approval of payment of the bills as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion by Manager Reap and a second by Manager Jones to approve this month's bills, the amount of $136,226.71. Wendy, take roll call vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes,
Manager Reed,
Yes.
Manager Jones,
Yes.
Manager Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Landenberger.
Yes, motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, when that meeting comes Monday night, we need to get some garrison diversion input from them. How do we do that? Contact their,
My thoughts, Commissioner, would be to reach out to, Larry Cashin is the Burleigh County Director.
yep,
If he's no longer in this, would he be able to meet, at least phone in or call in? If not, then I also would reach out to Dwayne Ducray with Garrison Conservancy District, and I'm sure they'd be willing to send somebody to that meeting as well.
the more the merrier, yes.
Well, you might just call Dwayne DeGray. I've spoken with him a couple of times in the last
Okay.
month. And
Yeah,
He's
what's-
aware
what's
of
his
this.
title? He's with Burleigh County Water Reusers or what?
he's with the joint board.
No.
Dwayne DeCray's the director of the,
He's a director
Director.
of Garrison
That's
Conservancy
right.
District.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's DeCray?
Yep, Dwayne Ducray.
Okay.
I don't have his number on me, Jerry, but I've got it at home.
Okay.
I probably got it.
I think Dennis probably had it.
Dennis, have you got the number?
I should. You ready, Jerry?
He's got his number if you want to write it down.
Oh.
I can just give it to you
Go
afterwards. I'll
go
give it
ahead.
to you afterwards.
No, go
Right,
ahead.
yeah, I won't-
Well, yeah, we're not.
I won't broadcast it across the.
Okay. All right, moving on, then in your packet there on pages 90 through 180 is some more detail on
Yeah.
this month's bills. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Tuesday, December 9th, so remember we're moving it from Wednesday to Tuesday because of the Water Users Conference, so it'll be at 8 AM in this room on Tuesday, December 9th. And we may be posting next Monday as well, that's a meeting, or we will be posting that, so. Okay. Anything else this morning? Not hearing anything? Okay, nothing else before the board? We are adjourned.